I'm Wanda. Okay, okay. I've just changed the settings so that anyone who wants to can share their screen, on the assumption that no one's going to share anything horrible. So I thought if you'd like to, as Judith said, if you have something that you would like to share with other people, can you please put it in the, don't write what you want to share, just put your name in the chat so that we know that you're there. Don't be shy. I'm sure that everybody's got something that they might like to share. In fact, I've prepared a couple of things just to sort of kick things off so that we have got something to be going on with. And you can see that it's super simple and low key. So I teach at the moment in a sixth form college, so I teach A-level. I also teach in a Saturday school, so that kind of follows on very nicely from what we've been doing before. I've also had, like Luma was saying, and like Fatima was saying as well, that sometimes when people come to supplementary schools, they are often a bit reluctant to be there, and you've got to kind of try and sort of jolly them along a little bit, but you've also got to get them through these exams. And so one of the things I was going to talk about was activities which are sort of rigorous and intellectually rigorous and kind of really help with getting people through exams and getting them to practice stuff that sometimes isn't very interesting, but also are things that are quite motivating and actually just quite fun. And I think they work very well for all ages. Because the other thing I was going to say is that I did teach primary as well. I've done about 8 years of primary, and a lot of the activities I've done in primary I find myself reusing in sixth form as well, because sixth formers love games. You know, sixth form life is really stressful and it's really kind of serious in so many ways, and you have so many sort of pressures. But sixth formers love stickers, and they love kind of just doing things that are a little bit more fun sometimes, but they also really like the sense that they're actually learning something as well, and that they're practicing something. So just this morning, the reason I wasn't here this morning, I was at my Saturday school, and I teach a lovely group of children German who have very, very mixed ability. Some of them speak German at home all the time. Some of them are like the third child and they never speak German at home. And the language of the household probably started off being German and is now English. And like with all classes, it's a very mixed ability, not just ability-wise, but also in terms of kind of general cognitive ability. So one of the things we did this morning was a 1 pen, 1 dice, and this was all the rage about 5 years ago, but I thought I could mention it again because I think we've probably got quite a few new teachers here, and a lot of these activities, they kind of come and go and they're kind of a bit faddish sometimes. I just bought myself a new set of foam dice on Amazon, and horrible Amazon, but they're very useful sometimes. And foam dice are amazing because they don't make any noise. Because one of the things that people really hate about 1 pen, 1 dice is that it's really noisy. And it's a very, very simple thing. Here's my little dice from this morning. It doesn't look quite like those ones. Each person has, it used to be before Corona that you'd share the pen and you share the dice, but nowadays everybody has their own pen and their own dice. You say you have an activity that you want them to do. So this morning it was quite a dry translation into English from a text where we'd kind of practice the vocabulary. It was a little history of Berlin, and it was just from the textbook. So it was like zero prep for me apart from bringing the dice. It was a very dry translation, but it's something they need to practice. And you explain what they're going to do, and you start off 3, 2, 1, and both of them start throwing the dice. And as soon as one of them gets a 6, they're allowed to pick up their pen and start translating. And the other person has to keep rolling the dice until they get a 6. And then as soon as they do, they shout Zex, and then so they've got their 6, and then they get to start doing their translation. And you're not allowed to pick up your pen unless you've thrown a 6. And when I first tried this, because I read about this years ago, and it never kind of worked. I didn't have the right kind of classes where I didn't think it was going to work. And when I first tried this with this class, it was amazing. I was like, why haven't I done this before? Because I thought it was going to be really gimmicky. But actually, what's really great about it is that they really concentrate because they know they don't have very much time. They've only got until the next person gets a 6. And so for those sort of 30 seconds or whatever, they concentrate way more than they ever concentrated. If I'd said to them, okay, you've got 5 minutes to do the translation, they look at the ceiling and they look out of the window and they think about how cold they are because I've got all the windows open. But because they've only got this time, they kind of like, oh my God, okay. And they just get on with it so fast. And actually the quality as well is excellent. It's really amazing. And you can differentiate very easily as well, because you could always say, okay, well, you two can do, you either differentiate, which I've done at the moment, is that I have lower, I don't like using the word lower ability, but well, whatever, anyway, we all know what we mean. Sort of, I pair them according to ability. So I've got like the 2 super fast best ones together and the slightly less fast ones together and that sort of thing. But also you could do it, with a gap fill. You can do it with lots of things. You can give them vocabulary to help them. Very, very easy. And very quickly as well, because it's meant to only be a couple of minutes each. The chatterbox is something that I've done at primary, but also works very, very well all the way up, because you can change the topics. So you can sort of say you're studying the film Goodbye Lenin, and you can get them to make the chatterbox, and they have to make, and for each of the things, instead of having a number, you could have a topic. So Liebe, love, Lügen, lies, whatever. And then when they get it, they have to then tell you everything about those topics. And that bottom one is very, very similar. It's a pass the bomb, or things with cards, where you have a card, so you're revising a topic, say Goodbye Lenin again, this film, and you have they have a card, you just write a topic on the card, like lies or family or something. And then you can either, this is from a game called Pass the Bomb, you can have a bomb or you can have a timer, and you say, okay, you've got to talk about this for 1 minute. And then you've got to see whether they can actually talk. And so it's good for this oral practice, but then if they know their topic, they will be able to keep going for as long as they possibly can about that topic. So again, they're very low tech, and it just adds, they're things that they would have to do anyway, but it just adds a bit of competition and it makes it a little bit more fun for them. So I am going to stop sharing, and I'm going to see.
Thank you very much, Wanda.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
While you were doing that, you couldn't really keep an eye on the chat, so I can tell you.
But I can see now that Sarah
and then
Natalie. Yeah.
So Sarah here.
So everyone should be able to share their screen if they need to, I think. So.
Okay, I will try. I don't share my screen much because I'm a PGCE student, so I haven't done the whole COVID teaching thing, but you should be able to see a PowerPoint screen, yes?
Yes, it's great.
So the game is meant for teaching Russian because it tends to be the like lesser taught language. So that's why things might not seem to make much sense. But essentially, it's a bit like German. We have quite an extensive case system, which is really difficult for native speakers of English to grasp. And it's one of the things that comes up like year on year on exam reports, that people are really struggling with correctly conjugating, not conjugating, declining nouns and so forth. So this game is essentially, you have this twister spinner that you make with like laminating it with a split pin. And then someone they're in groups of kind of 4, and they twist it, and they have a bag of vocab at the same time. They twist it, they land on one of the colors, and then they take a word out of the bag, and they have to then put that word that they have into the correct case according to the color. So if they were to land on the blue, they would then put the word that they have into the instrumental. And if they get it right, they can put their finger on one of the blue spots. And then it becomes kind of like a game of Twister, but it's just with everyone's fingers. And I played it in French without having the cases in the circle, just with having topic questions, and it worked really well. They really seemed to enjoy it. So yeah, obviously you can change what's in the Twister spinner depending on what the aims of the lesson are. It might be tenses, it might be topic questions. But it's just a fun way to practice speaking, basically. And that's it.
Brilliant.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you very much.
Good. And is that something that you could share with us, that PowerPoint with us, so that we could, when I'm going to be putting together a website to say these are ideas?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That would be great. Thank you very much. So, who we got next?
That was me.
Yeah,
Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to take credit. Okay, it's actually one of our wonderful heads of department in one of our academies that Judith knows. I mean, it's from Muna.
Lovely.
So you might be familiar with the activity. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to share my screen. Yes. Okay, so let me. So it's okay. I would like to play the PowerPoint. How about? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I would like to play. Okay, so animation. So fine. Okay, I'm not normally working like that. Okay, so start from the beginning. Okay, so this is a speaking activity. Okay, especially at the moment. I mean, we are having. I don't know how you find students in your class, but we find them very reluctant to speak. And this little game here, I mean, is really handy. It's something that you play in pair, and instead of having reading out loud, I mean, in front of a whole class, okay, which some students find really daunting, this one you play in pairs. Okay, so one of the students is going to read black, and the other student is going to read what's in red. So if I have a volunteer, I mean, you can read French with me. Somebody who wants to play it with me in French? I don't know, Helen?
Yeah.
Are you game? Okay, I'm going to show you, I mean, how it becomes a competition. Okay, so Helen, I'm starting with black. Okay, and you read red, is that okay?
Yes, okay.
So, okay. Je m'appelle Karima.
J'habite à Marseille.
Dans le sud-est de la France.
De la France.
Mais je suis, pardon, mais je suis.
I've got to interrupt, have I? Oh, marocaine. Et je
suis grande.
Et brune. Mon
anniversaire est le.
Et
j'ai 16 ans.
Et un frère qui.
Okay, so you see the principle. Okay, so the whole thing, I mean, is going smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, so you're reading against a countdown, and actually, I mean, the team that wins, I mean, it's the team that wins the furthest in the text. I mean, this is really fun. I mean, I've seen lots of students who don't normally engage, I mean, and say things in target language and in the classroom, who really wanted to get to the, well, this text, I mean, it's quite long, obviously, I mean, you know, but you can have that, I mean, a lot shorter, okay, and having students, you know, compete with each other, reading their little text, I mean, and they really want to get to the end. I mean, that's the thing, I mean, you know, it's really fun to do. And a nice follow-up activity, I mean, that Muna actually did, I mean, when she did the activity. You can do some phonics practice as well, I mean, because you're walking around, you're listening to what the students are saying, so you can pick up, I mean, any errors, and you can do some work on phonics as well. It's really brilliant. I mean, I really recommend. I will give the slide to you if you want, Helen, okay, and you can add it to your presentations.
Natalie, do you mind? Can you explain how you make the text get smaller like that?
Oh, it's with a shrink grow function. I mean, on PowerPoint. I mean, that's it.
You just put it in a box.
It's in the effects.
Ah, okay.
If you go towards the bottom, I mean, you will have a shrink grow effect. I mean, and this is how you get it.
Okay, thank you.
Great idea, really good.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, and Muna showed it on Wednesday at our network meeting, and everybody was absolutely amazed. It was great.
So I've put my, well, you know my email anyway, but for anybody, yes, if you're happy to share things, you don't have to, but if you're happy to share things, email it to me, and then I can put a link to our website and put it all in the same page of everything that we've done. So that's great. So who's next, Wanda? Who do we put? Was it Fatima? Fiorina, I think? Or was it? Sorry, I've been writing numbers.
Or it's me, Marlene, Maggie.
Oh yes, sorry, Maggie.
Thank you. Let me just share the screen. Right. So hopefully everyone can see that. Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I already have learned a lot from you guys today. So the idea I want to share with you is very simple. So how to use the VR to show the students, giving them the real cultural experience, especially during this time, during pandemic, they cannot able to travel. And we want to bring the place, the different cities experience to them in the classroom. So this is one thing I used about the Palace Museum, also called the Forbidden City. There is, well, you can click click this, it will automatically do that tour for you. And there is a map, so wherever you want to go, you can just guide the students all the way, like you're actually there in the museum. So that is fantastic. And I used this for one of my year 8 classes, because they were studying the my pet dragon topic. So based on that, I used them to from the entrance, guide them all the way to where they can see the 9 dragon words, which is very famous. There are 9 different colors dragons on it. So I'll just click another one to save you time. So all the way from the entrance, you can until you here see the 9 dragon words. So when they see that, I ask them to obviously count in Mandarin. So 1 to number 9. And also they learned from the whole term how to describe in colors. So they can see use Mandarins as a yellow or green or purple, they can see that. And also during the term time, they learned how to describe the body parts of the pets. So they need to say that the eyes are very small, or I see the legs are very long. So I use this image with them. And if it's online, like Google Classroom, you can just drop the link and ask them to do it as a self-study. So that is the idea I want to share with you. So obviously in different cities, you have kinds of museums. You can use this opportunity to give students more cultural experience. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. That's amazing. And it just reminded me as well that the great thing about using things like VR and webcams and things is that you can then also do things like the weather. So you can, so it's really good for revising the weather, because then you can just show them, you know, a live webcam. And I remember when I did it in primary and showing them webcams of Paris and like watching people moving, and they're like, oh, are those real French people? And you're like, yes, they're real French people and they're moving. And the weather, quel temps fait-il? And you know, so it's really great using that sort of thing. Okay, so I have now made a proper list, and the next person is Fiorina. And I think if no one else wants to go, Fiorina, I think you're the last one. So now is the time, if anyone else wants to volunteer, please write something in the chat now, don't be shy. But Fiorina, you are up now. Oh, you're on mute, I think. Or maybe you might have to put your hand down. Right, now you're on mute. Now you've gone away completely. We can see you, but we can't hear you. There might be something wrong with your microphone.
Well, I'll make you co-host. That gives you loads of powers. See if that...
Maybe the volume, is the volume low?
I think you're all right now. You must be right now because we can't see your microphone. Oh no, it's still not. Oh, you should be able to work. You've got a microphone showing. So
You haven't muted your whole computer or anything like that. No.
Thank you for your time. So I'm going to quickly share something that, just a second, I'm still learning how to use the sharing the screen and everything. Let's see. Am I sharing?
no, not yet.
No, I'm not. Okay. The entire screen.
Yes, you may. So just want to share something that I've stolen shamelessly from Only Connect, the BBC Two quiz show, and where you have to, from their wall, where you have to have 4 groups of 4 ideas and 4 words. So this is one I've used with year 12 as a starter for Au revoir les enfants, and have put a few things in that could go into more than one category just to make it a bit challenging. And they seem to absolutely love it, and they love the competition of it and the critical thinking skills involved. And that would be the answer to that wall. and then have also used it from Key Stage 3, Key Stage 4, using vocabulary groups or grammatical groups. And it seems to have gone down well as a really easy and quick starter. So that's from me.
And again, if you could send that to me, I'd love it. Use it straight away.
That's great. Thank you. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And Charlie, you had one as well.
Yeah, happy if it's a really simple thing. Shall I just, it's only one slide. Shall I do that?
Yeah. Wait, it may be that Liz, I think Liz, you might need to stop sharing so that Charlie can share. Because it's still, well, suddenly on mine, I'm still viewing Liz's screen.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Now, Charlie, do you want to try? Yeah. Yes, that's great.
Yeah. Really simple thing. I'm almost certain that the more experienced of you will have seen this one or done this one, but it's such a fun game. Highlight a splat where pupils have a list of words that the teacher is going to say, or maybe in a text, or reading out a text. Pairs of pupils sitting next to each other with a different highlighter pen, and it's the first one to highlight the words that they hear. And as you can see, an example here of someone who only got 8 and wasn't very happy about it. Really simple game, particularly if you're practicing listening skills, but with a bit of energy. There you go, simple one.
Right.
Oh, that's great, thank you. So they share that they have just the one piece of paper between them.
They have the one piece of paper between them,
okay.
And it's the first one to get to it.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's a really good idea. Excellent. Oh, well done. Thank you. Okay. I've lost. Someone else was trying to.
Well, Fiorina
was going to try one more time, maybe.
First of all, can you see me?
We can see you and we can hear you. Yeah.
That's a pain as per usual. Okay, let me see if I can share this. Okay. So let me see if I'm able to.
Yes. Yay.
Yay. Can you see? Yeah.
It's saying yes. Oh yeah. Oh cool.
Okay, so I'm not taking credit for this, obviously. I couldn't create this yesterday night. However, the reason for me to choose those games is because in my second placement, I will be teaching Italian GCSE level. And I've just realized there is a lack of resources online in Italian. I mean, it's very hard to find some. Hopefully one day I'll be able to create my own. And I was thinking how we can make Italian fun for learners, no matter the age, because we all love a little bit of a game. So I'm going to show you quickly 2 games that are things that are connected within each other, and they will help, one will be following the other in order to learn the language. May I have someone who wants to play with me, like very quickly, like un volontario, una volontaria?
I can try.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Let me see if we can do this together. Please tell me that it's working. Yes, it's working. Right. So we will have to do 4 in a row, right? So I will let you choose, and I will make you win, obviously, because otherwise it's not.
Okay, good.
So which one do you want to choose? I will guide you. A1, I don't know, B3, for example. Which picture would you use?
Okay, I'll take C2.
Okay, C2 will be this one, right? I'm going to help you, pretending that
I can do a little bit of Italian.
Okay, go ahead.
Lego.
Right.
Lego.
Yes, correct. Which one would you like to choose?
D1.
So D1 is this one, right?
Guardate. Guardate.
Well done. Guardate. Yes. Excellent.
Do I need to make a line? Is that
okay? Yeah, but let's try like this. Let's try the way they use it.
B3.
B3 should be yes. Lavoro al computer. Yes.
Disegno.
This, you mean disegno? Yeah, this one? Okay. Wrong, but you know, it was close. Do you want to try another one?
B2.
Okay, B2, this one. I'm sure you can do this one.
Scrivo.
Yes, bravissima. Well done. And maybe now easier to go on top or at the bottom, maybe. So
Yeah.
A2? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is A2?
Ascoltate.
Bravissima. Ascoltate. And the last one has to be D2. So now you can do it because it's not this.
Sì. Sto colorando dei disegni.
Bravissima. Sto colorando dei disegni. Brava. This is fun. Yesterday I was having fun by myself. And before I go, because I don't want to take obviously too much time, I just want to quickly show this one. So grow. I believe that after practicing a little bit with 4 in a row, someone is able, sorry, just some annoying gut. Someone is able probably to play this one because it will give you different choices. You have to choose the right verb, and if you choose the right verb, you will draw a lovely sunflower, and you will keep on collecting, you know, knowledge on top of other knowledge, and that's all really. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's really nice. It's a nice website. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Grazie. Okay.
Prego. Grazie a te.
So I think I've now taken my eye off the chat again, but maybe somebody else has looked. But I think that was it. Unless Helen, you wanted to do a last
This
minute.
is a song just to end up with.
A song. Okay, that's nice to finish on a song.
It's a bit of a miserable song, but anyway. It's
Okay.
It's really, have you heard of Teachfit? If you haven't heard of Teachfit, then I think it's really worth. Well, actually, if everyone's heard of Teachfit, I don't need to show it. Is there anybody who hasn't heard of Teachfit? That I can share. Well, anyway, let's watch a Teachfit because it's Stromae. We've got to watch some Stromae. Nora hasn't. Okay, Nora, that's given me a good excuse. So I'm going to share my screen, share the sound, and share screen 3. So Teachfit is, I think, an absolutely fantastic resource where you can take any video, and by adding the words and the translation, it can create it into a game. You do have to pay to create them, but you don't have to pay to use them. So in fact, I've created quite a few, lots of other people have created them as well. And I'll show you the most recent one by Stromae. So my hero Stromae has just come out with a new album. I'm going to go and see him in Toulouse in April 2023. So there are still tickets available if anybody's interested. So it's under Teachfit, resources, Stromae l'Enfer, and I'll show you what it can do. So if we open it up, why is it not letting me open it? Oh, I'm now having problems. Let's try. Oh, sorry, you have to, yeah, sorry, there are these little things here. So there we are. Oh, we'll do Tu vas me manquer, okay? Because this one's opened. So Maître Gims, there we are. No, I do really want to do Stromae. Let's go back again. So Stromae. There we are. So there we are. So I can open the resource and then I can share that resource with other people.
Je suis pas tout seul à être tout seul. Ça fait déjà ça de moins dans la tête. Et si je comptais combien on est?
So you can see it's just like if you had on YouTube, you can have the French and the English, so that you could get anyway. But here what's happened is that I've put in the words, I've put in the translation, I've chosen to have something which is a precise translation. I'll just carry on a bit.
Tout ce à quoi j'ai déjà pensé, dire que plein d'autres y ont déjà pensé, mais malgré tout, je me sens tout seul. Du coup.
So there, I've got now the French there and then the English there, but you could change it and have the English there, and you could change this so that it's the French if you wanted to.
J'ai parfois eu des pensées suicidaires et j'en suis peu fier. On croit parfois que c'est la seule manière.
All right, so obviously normally it would be the other way, but you can also just click from one place to another and go on with the song that way if you're particularly looking at a.
Sinon ça repart vite dans la tête Mais c'est trop tard pour que ça s'arrête.
Just going through that, I think, makes you learn it. But the best thing, I think, is probably that you then get activities. So you can have, this is an activity that I set, which is very straightforward, multi-choice.
Je suis pas tout seul à être tout seul. Ça fait déjà ça de moins dans la tête. Et si je comptais, combien on est? Beaucoup. Tout ce à quoi j'ai déjà pensé. Dire que plein d'autres y ont déjà pensé. Mais malgré tout, je me sens tout seul. J'ai parfois eu des pensées suicidaires et j'en suis peu fier.
And it will stop for you to choose the next one. So that's just one of many activities that you can create where you can have word blocks where they have to say.
Je suis pas tout seul à être tout seul.
This takes quite a long time, so I wouldn't do that one. But there are lots of different activities that you can do where you can build up words with consonants.
Je suis pas tout seul à être tout seul.
And so on. Okay, so that's really just to say something I would really recommend. I find that the students really do. So it's just a way of accessing French that they've never come across before, but they learn it so well through doing that activity. But I would normally show the whole thing so they can enjoy the song first of all. I would never start with it in that cut up way. It seems to be very cruel to Stromae to do it that way. And Charlie, you said you need a video on how to do it in full, right? And I have actually, well, as it happens, I have done a video. So I shall try and find the link to that, but perhaps do it a little bit more about what the activities are, because I haven't done very much about the activities. Natalie, you've written to me in DM again, but you've said, oh yes, you have. Lyrics training is similar as well.
I don't know why it's taking me to direct message all the time.
It's because I'm the last person.
Does it automatically?
Naturally that way.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was really wonderful, Helen. That was fun. And I love that song. Gosh, it's going to be in my head the whole time now. Could I take this opportunity to say a massive thanks to Wanda for leading this session, this show and tell. Thank you so much for doing that. And to all the presenters, to everybody who generously shared their resources, their ideas, their strategies during the show and tell, but throughout the day today. Thank you for generously doing that, because that is really the most amazing part of this community, that everybody so generously shares and adds ideas and collaborates with each other. And I'd also like to perhaps say, if I may, just and Helen, stop me if not, but can I just say one more thing at the end? Yes, a big thank you to David also, who's such a big supporter of ALL languages. So massive thanks to David for supporting us and for all his input and knowledge and expertise that he shares.
I'll pass that on to him. He's probably, hopefully, preparing my dinner at the moment. No, but thank you, that's really kind of you.
And last but not least, can we all give a massive applause to Helen? Without her, this event wouldn't have taken place, it wouldn't have been planned, it wouldn't have been done. And thank you for all your patience and all your extra efforts throughout the night to set this up, and also to deal all with with anything that comes your way in terms of tech issues to solve or other issues. So thank you ever so much for all you do.
Well,
we couldn't do it without you.
It's obvious, but all of this makes it worthwhile, doesn't it? Because we've come into this profession because we like helping people, don't we? And we get lots out of it. So thank you very much. Great committee. And yes, it's been a lovely day, and worth having my Windows update until 3 in the morning and making sure that it all works. I'm going to eat and go to bed now.
Oh, thank you so much, Helen, honestly. For
we've lived together today, haven't we, really, since 9:30 this morning. But anyway, great to see you all, and thank you very much for all the lovely comments. And I must say, the show and tell is often one of my favorite ones, really, because that's where you know, we actually discover talent here as well. So I think it's lovely to have that opportunity to be able to present and see that the satisfaction you get out of people saying, oh, thank you, really enjoyed that. So my idea is that, yeah, tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow morning, I'll do the web page and get it up to date, so then I can send links to people of what we've recorded. Oh, and I'm still recording now.
Go and eat and sleep.